Hello, race fans, and welcome to Saturday morning Formula V racing brought to you by Barefoot Racing Network under the auspices of the Sunday Night Skippy Racing League. Today, we're joining you at sunny Okinawa, and we are getting ready to start the whole qualifying process. Uh, let's have a quick look at the race info for today. It's not at Alton Park, which it says there, but it is at the Okinawa International Circuit. The Formula Vs are running the short track length, so they've got about a mile, 0.2, mile and a quarter almost. It's running in Japan. The temperatures are a balmy 129 degrees Fahrenheit. Holy bananas, Batman, that is a tad warm. So we should see some fun times as we're going through this race today. Who have we got racing? Well, I'm going to keep that for just a little bit longer for y'all. But I'm sure we're going to have a fun race today. This track should promote some good, exciting racing with these Formula V cars. And as you can see in the background, quite a few people are slipping and sliding all over the place. On the grid today, we've got Jason Bice, who is currently the points leader for the series. Mr. Mungan, Mr. Bartanowski, Kozuriak, Harris, Pim Luth, Carter Stickney, Peter Lee, and Mr. Thomas. So we'll see how that goes. I'm expecting the qualifying process to start fairly soon, and we'll see how that all goes once that kicks off. Let's see if we can quickly figure out how long that's going to be. Qualifying should be in about 8 minutes from now. So until then, I'm going to leave you with a view of the track and just follow some of these drivers around as they proceed around the track. Oops, someone just ran off there in the background. So we've got about 10 minutes left of quali. But while we're doing this, let's see if I can dip in and grab someone to come and chat with me briefly. Give me 1 second and I will be back with you. Okay, I have Pim Luth with me in the booth at the moment. Hey, Pim, how's it going?
Good. I'm actually standing in a pit looking at all the other times and especially the lines.
Trying to figure out how the fast guys are getting faster and the better guys are getting better, and figuring out where you're going to be able to pass them.
Well, passing is not the point. It's more about how can I keep up with them. It's really fast.
Really?
I'm amazed by the times. Yeah, it's. I'm not sure if the track is really slick or something, but well, everybody's within. I'm just looking now. Everybody's within a couple of tenths in my area.
Okay.
So
Well, I've been
super
looking at
exciting.
the I've been looking at the race info, and I'm just going to throw that up again in a minute. Um, that we are not at Alton Park. We're in Japan.
Yeah, we're in Okayama.
I'm going to throw up on the system here real fast the race info. Yeah, the track temperature is right now 129 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's what I'm
And
seeing.
can you translate that in Celsius?
Hot
It's
like
hot.
lava. The ground is lava.
I had something thought of that.
Yeah, I mean it's nuts, mate. It is completely crazy how hot it actually is out there right now. And yeah, we just got a view of you sitting in your car in the pits, looking at your monitors.
Exactly. No, I'm actually looking at Benjamin Harris. That's my rival for the moment. He was last time very close with me, so I'm looking. He's running roughly the same times. So I suspect that we're gonna have some battles with Benjamin again.
with the little orange car.
Yeah, I love the orange. I do have to say.
Well, we're following him around the track right now, so we're getting a little view of his car. Oh, yeah, it's got those cool stripes on the front of it. I quite like that actually.
Yeah, I don't see those stripes most of the times. I most of the times just see the back of the car when it's a race.
So tell me a little bit about how this track is going. I've not actually run the short version before.
Oh, well, so when we're watching with Benjamin, that first corner is all about momentum. So being as quick as possible back on the throttle again. And for me, the corner where he's now is the most difficult. There are a couple of lines, but you need to be back on the throttle really here as soon as possible, because it will be a long straight. This is basically the longest straight in the whole track, and you need to make sure that you are up to speed over there. And then here, yeah, it's very tight corners. Just make sure that you keep the momentum in the car, and really, I like how Jason says that you drive through the corners. So you take bare minimum of brake, and you try to keep the momentum high, and also the grip very high. And it is the last corner. Still debate about if you really need to brake for it, or that you can just hold off the throttle a little bit. But yeah, this is the chance to overtake. I think if you wanna see some overtakes, we'll definitely be here on the long straight or just before that first corner.
And of course,
So that's a little bit. Sure.
there's lots of draft in this as well. So you're going to really pull that draft on the straight, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now for me, I will be honest that I was in the top split last race just to check how racing would go. I couldn't follow the draft, so for me it was really just holding on. Oh, here he goes. Keeps that car safe. I like that about the Formula V. You can keep the car quite safe.
On the track when he went ran
Yeah,
off there on the corner,
yeah.
hit a bit of
If you
grass.
make a mistake, just tap the brake, get the car straight, and you're pretty much okay. So for me, it's really avoiding cars is the biggest problem, and that's especially in the pub cars. I think up here it will be a lot more just following the leader.
And speaking of
It's,
leaders, Jason Bice is currently leading this series, right?
oh, what a surprise! Jason Weiss is running the he is very quick. We don't have any reverse grid for this race. Just let us know. So that's going to be he's going to be on the front, and we're immediately seeing Giovanni and him fighting, which could be quite interesting.
Okay. Well, I'm following Jason's car as he just rounds the last corner and crosses, heading down to the start finish line. Start finish line is quite a long way down this track. It's getting on nearly for the first corner, really, and that's going to be a lovely little run on your first opening lap there.
Oh yeah, yeah. And look out for Ray Bartnikowski. He puts really fast times up, and he's not afraid to take those corners.
A
So
bit of elbows
I
out.
expect, yeah, I think Ray will actually be a contender this race.
All right. Well, it sounds like we've got a superb race ahead of us. We're looking here at the time. We've got just under a minute left to go. So I'm just going to grab from you predictions. Who do you think is going to be our winner and our loser today?
All right, so I always want to win these things, no matter what. So it's going to be easy to say Jason Bice is going to be my number one. Giovanni Mungan is going to be my number two, and Ray Bartnikowski is going to be my number three.
Well, okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. I am rooting for you, mate. I hope to see
All
you up
right.
there, and I'll let you go for your practice session.
Yeah, I do want to say I appreciate it a lot that you do the broadcast again. So I just saw it happening, and it's awesome.
Well,
Great work.
I was away last week on a family vacation, so that's why it didn't happen last week. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, man. Have fun,
Good
and
luck with this
see
race,
you later.
okay?
All
Take
right,
care.
bye bye.
Bye bye. So that was Pim Luth quickly joining me here in the broadcast booth. And we'll try and see if we can get Peter Lee or Jack Moffat to come in maybe during the race. Um, I'll just dip in and just check with them and see if that is okay. Hey guys, just quick dipping in.
So I can't say anything back about. Sorry, Jack, that I constantly call you Jay.
Hey guys, just dipping into your conversation. If it's okay, I'll grab some of you guys during the race, pull you into the broadcast booth. Is that okay?
Yeah, good.
Awesome. Okay, I'll leave you to it. Bye. All right, so we got the okay from those guys. So right now we're following Jason on his out lap, getting ready to do his first quali lap. And you can see as he's drifting all the way to the outside to get the best roll on this corner. He's not doing a lot of work to warm these tires up. I have no idea. I've never driven the Formula V myself, so I have no idea what it's like in terms of getting it up to temperature if you need to do a lot of work on the tires to get that temperature up. But you know, just driving out, he seems to have the lap speed record right now. And let me put up the qualifying grid. Let's see if we can do this. Where are we? Where's the qualifying grid? I'll have to find that. Here we go. Put up a track map so you can see where folks are on the map. So Jason is now heading down to the start-finish line, which is there. And away he goes on his first quali lap. Let's see how he does. Right now, Mr. Harris has the fastest lap of the race at the moment. He's on his second lap now. Currently in first place. Kevin Korsak's in second on the grid. Ray Baltanowski, who Pim was talking about, is in sixth. Pim hasn't set a time as yet. And with these cars in the qualifying, if you get an off track at any point during your run is aborted and you have to do it again. But you only get 2 goes to set a time on a normal qualifying session. So let's see. I'm not sure if this is a bit more extended or, yeah, it looks like this is just a 2-lap quali. Jason's done his. He's set his times. Jason is in first place with a 1:02.09 at the moment. Ray Bartnowski's in second with a 1:02.21. Mr. Kosiorek, I get him mangling this man's name, is in third with a 1:02.52. But all the way down to Mr. Harris in sixth place is still in the 1:02s. Pim is in seventh with a 1:03.26, followed by Jack Moffat, 1:03.83. And I should be able to start to get some of these times up on the screen for you. Let's see what I can do to do that. Give me 1 second here. And we haven't got the grid set quite yet. Some guys are still out running. Jason is still holding the top spot. Andrew Thomas is now in the pits. Benjamin Harris is still running. He's currently on a 103.093. And we'll see how he does as he finishes up his lap. Here's Mr. Harris. He's down to 102.77 now as he comes up to cross the line. And his time does not change. Okay, and the only other person we have on the track is Jack Moffat. Here's Jack in this rather smart light blue car. We'll have to get a bit of a closer look at that, I think. Let's see what we can see. Have a look from his gyro. You can hear how those tires are complaining as he goes around that corner. Not quite using all the track, but nearly. Lovely run into this corner. Look at him drifting it out to the left. Little ease off the throttle. See if he improves his time. And no, he stays at 103.98. So I think everybody's now set their times. So we're just waiting now for the grid to form up. Let's just jump over here and see where we're at. We've got, 3 minutes of qualifying left to go. If anybody wants to use it, the only person currently on track is Mr. Moffat. So we'll see how that all goes. And while we're waiting for the grid to form up, we'll just take an overview, and you can see the track from a bit higher up, looking from the iRacing blimp, brought to you by Duff Beer. Drink Duff Beer, become as intelligent as a Homer. Pigeon, that is. And we can see the long straight that Pim was talking to. Here's turn 1. Curbs around, the cars will drift wide to the outside. Turn 2 is now putting them onto that back track. So there's a huge section that's been cut out of this track because they're running the short version. That'll be turn 4. So he comes up along a little straight here. A little bit of drafting will go on here, I'm sure. It looks like he's pulling up. Okay, great. So that means that hopefully the grid will form up now, and we can see what's going on there. So here's our grid for today. Jason Bison first, Ray Bartnowski second, Kevin in third, Carter Stickney in fourth, Giovanni in fifth, Benjamin Harris in sixth, Pim Luth in seventh, Jack Moffat in eighth, Peter Lee in ninth, and Andrew Thomas in 10th. And you can see just underneath there, the grid is growing and building. So let's go and have a look from the front here. And we will get rid of that and start to get ready for the race. As the cars get ready to grid. Here we go. The lights are up. I don't know why I'm not seeing anyone. Okay, there they are. And it's a little bit of a rolling start. So we'll follow them around as they go. These cars streaming off the little start line there. They have to hold their position. And so for those of you who haven't seen this before, the way this works is that the cars have to allow Jason to cross the line first. Once he hits the line and the lights are green, they're free to pass, but they're not allowed to pass him prior to those lights going green. So if we go over here, we'll see them as they pull up. They're starting to form up a bit more now. Jason's controlling the pack here as they come around the car. The pace car's in, and we are ready to go racing. And they're slowing up for the line. Jason's controlling the whole pack. You hear the green call, the lights are green, and away we go. So how are things going? Jason's got the inside going into turn one. We're all streaming into turn one. That's Bartnowski on the outside, and we've got Kosorik pushing into second. Bartnowski's pulled a little bit of the outside turn and went a little bit wide and lost a place there. Third place is Bartnowski. Fourth is Gherkin. Fifth is Carter Stickney. Pim Luth is up one position to 6. In 7th, Jack Moffat's up one position. Mr. Harris is down 2. Peter Lee's staying in 9th, and Thomas is in 10th. And I guess they could play the long game because we do have, I think, at least one pit stop during this race. And already Jason is gapping that pack as the others work to fight behind him. He's pulled a lead of almost 8 seconds as Ray runs just a little bit wide in his recolored green and white car. And there we go. We're now on lap 2 in our first heat. So we'll see how things pan out. Things will start to settle down a little bit now as all of the drivers kind of find their space, find their slot, and start plotting their strategy for how they're going to try and win this race. But Jason really seems to have it quite controlled, although that gap isn't really changing much. If the rest of the pack work together, they could form a little bit of a train and push up and catch Jason. And as you see, the interval just dropped to about half a second, but he is holding them out there as Ray gets very close to the back of Kevin going into that corner. Just to let you know, that big puff of smoke you see coming out of those cars, that's how those cars are made. The engines do give off this great big puff of smoke whenever the gears change on some of them. So if you keep an eye out, you'll see a difference there. And Jason sets the fastest lap of 1:02.089. As Kevin gets back into second place, they're fighting away there in that backpack, and that will be slowing them down slightly. Let's drop back and see what's going on there as we ride with the train that's just there in the back behind Jason. And they're starting to lose time to him because they're fighting amongst themselves. The interval's now up to almost 1.5 seconds as we're going through the backfield, getting ready to hit that front straight again, where the draft on these cars really is quite cool. And you will see them jockeying once again for position as they come into this straight. Here we go. There's the final corner before the straight. And surprisingly, they all get out of each other's draft, although I see Giovanni tucking in, trying to see if he can squeeze past Ray just on sheer pace. He's managing to pass Kevin, is into second, and also has the inside line. So once he can keep that, maybe he had to slow a tad more as Kevin tries the inside line going in through here and gets the position back. But then he runs a little wide. You can see him fighting with the car just a touch, slowed him down. Oh, and very wide off the track goes Bartnowski. This is quite the battle here for second and third and fourth as Giovanni starts to catch up with that pack, as does Carter Stickney and Pim Luth. They're all vying to get into that action, and the more these guys in first, second, third, and fourth fight, the more 5, 6, and 7 are catching them. Andrew Thomas must have had a crash. He is now 22 seconds down off of the lead, and will have a really hard time, let's talk miracles, if he's to get that back and to catch back up with this pack. Fight continues. Here's some really great action. Let's go and see what it looks like from Carter's perspective as we jump on board with Carter Stickney. You can see the cars ahead of him. He is under a second behind Giovanni, So he should be getting a bit of draft from him. As you can see him closing up as he goes through this corner. Well, the corners always have a concertina effect anyway, but with these cars, with the draft that they can pull, it does help the car behind to get dragged along just a little bit faster than those in front and allow them to catch up. Little lift of the gas back on the accelerator, and you can see he's starting to close that gap just a little tiny bit. As he runs now in fourth place. Pim's now in fifth, Jack's in sixth, Benjamin Harris in seventh, Peter Lee in eighth. Andrew Thomas is a lap down in ninth, and Ray Bartnowski is in the pit. Now, I don't know why he's in the pit, if he had a problem, or if that is a strategic move. I don't see him in there now, although it is reporting to me that he is in there. Let's have a look at his car. It doesn't look damaged. I'm not sure what the problem might be. If he's refueling it and trying to do a quick stop and jump the queue, or if he is oh, he crashed. So he actually is towing and repairing. So let's jump back up here with Jason Bice, who's still running in first place. Now pulled out almost 4-second lead on the rest of the pack, as Kevin and the trailing pack are working to see if they can get that lead done. And there's still a huge fight between Kevin and Giovanni, and this is really giving Carter the opportunity to really start to catch back up with them. One of the things you might notice in some of these cars is that little black square that's attached to different places. So if we kind of look at the cars, you can see it's in different places. Like Carter, sorry, has it right there on the right-hand side of his roll bar. If we look at Pim's car, you can see that he's got one also on the right-hand side of his roll bar. Jack's is on the left-hand side of his roll bar. Kevin has one on the right-hand side. Giovanni on the left, and those are all little GoPros that they have on their cars that they can use. As Kevin is starting to pull up on, as Giovanni has got the inside on Kevin and takes over second place. Once again, Jason sets the fastest lap of the race as a 1.205, and the others are running at 1.2.4s and 5s. Although Carter had a 102.47 and Pim had a 102.54, so very quick working on coming up behind them to see if they can catch up with that pack. Let's have a look from Pim's perspective as we see them rounding. Let's see if we can get the track map up, actually. Here we go. Here's the track map. And we'll put the initials up so you can see who's where on the track as we're rolling along here. As Pim goes around the final corner and onto the front straight, he's a little bit far behind. Where is he? He's just behind Harris right now. Nope, there he is. So he's chasing Carter Stickney, who he can see teasing him just a little further up the track. And Jack Moffat's working hard to see if he can get past Pim. Rainbows and unicorns, my friend. Rainbows and unicorns. Let's go back and have a look at the jockeying in second, third, and fourth. And we're on board with Kevin right now as he comes round penultimate corner to go round onto the front straight. So he's chasing down Giovanni, who's in second place, who's pulled out a little bit of a lead as Jason now goes into the 101s with the fastest lap of the race. Everybody else is running in the 102. So I think Jason really, barring any curse that I might have on him or other issues is really rolling this one out. With about half the race over, half the race to go. Let's go back and have a quick look at Mr. Bartnowski where he crashed. I'm not sure if we're seeing anything significant yet. Oh, yes, he lost it on the corner. Oh, and Pim hit him. Luckily for Pim, he was able to keep going. Oh, and Jack Moffat has crashed. Let's go and see what happened there. Here's Jack. Wonder what happened. He's on the straight. Oh, he lost it going into the corner. The car has spun out. And everybody was managed to get around him. So that wasn't a real crash. So that he got himself going and away he goes. And he is rolling once more. Yep, there's another quick look at it as he gets himself going. All right. As we're back at the front, Jason Weiss followed by Giovanni, Kevin Kosiorek. I'm going to have to get him in the booth because he's got to tell me what his name is. This is ridiculous. Carter Stickney, Pim Luth, Benjamin Harris, Peter Lee, Jack Moffat, Andrew Thomas, and Ray Bartnowski. Well, here we go. The fight for second, third, and fourth is still vicious and going on as Pim is starting to get a little bit closer to that group, working really hard to see where he can catch up. He has a nice gap behind him before Mr. Harris is there, and so he is not doing too badly in terms of having to worry who's behind him. He just needs to close down that gap to the ones in front. And Pim is running the lap times that should allow him to do that. Let's have a look at Pim and see what his sector times are looking like. So he was a little bit slower than the guy that's behind him, Harris, on sector 1. Sector 2, he's done a 14.7. And Harris did it a little bit better. So he beat him in sector 1, a little slower in sector 2. And we're heading now into sector 3. Let's see how he does. 22.5. And let's have a look at from Carter so you can see here what Pim needs to do. Oh, and Carter's got past Kevin for third place, putting down a 102.12 versus Kevin's 102.41. I'm sure Kevin will not be happy about that, and now will be pushing hard to try and pass Carter again. Lap 13 with 13 minutes elapsed as they go into the middle section of the track, slowest section of the track. And then onto the front straight where the draft will be strong. Let's have a look at it from Kevin's perspective. As he takes the inside line on Carter. Carter tries to do the inside out move, but he's a little bit too far behind at this point in time. So, there we go. And he loses the place to Kevin again. This is some great racing, folks. Really enjoyable to see this kind of close racing. As Pim starts to catch back up, he's about 5 seconds down from the car behind. Oh, he gets very close there. As he's sitting right in his draft, looking to see if he can get a toe on the front straight and do a quick pass on Kevin. Let's jump into his gyro. Whoops, sorry, my bad. Where's his gyro? There we go. He's a little bit too far behind, but we'll do a lap with Carter and see how things go. Corner 2. Got a lovely little run off of that corner, and it goes up on the inside. Nice car positioning, and once he can keep the momentum and the speed on that corner, he should be able to keep that position. Now he needs to build a gap. We jump back to Kevin, who is just behind him. So Kevin's now going to pull up and see if he can draft past him going down the straightaway. Kevin got a lovely run off of that last corner as well, and you can see him inching closer and closer to the back bumper of Carter's Formula V. Just eases off just a touch. He's not going to make it on this lap. Carter loses some speed, sliding a bit too much on that corner. And you can see the different braking points from the concertinaing between the two cars, where you know, and if you listen to Kevin's engine notes, you can hear where he lifts off the gas just to let the car slow a little bit. Like I say, that puff of smoke is completely normal from these engines. It isn't showing any signs that the engine is about to give up. But you can hear these tires complaining as they go into these corners. 16 and a half minutes have elapsed. And let's see if we can, we got Peter Lee is up. So the positioning now, Jason Bice is in first, Giovanni second, Carter third, Kevin fourth, Pim Luth fifth, Peter Lee sixth, Jack Moffitt seventh, Benjamin Harris eighth, Andrew Thomas 9, and Ray Bartnowski is in 10th. So Pim is in 5th. Let's see what we see with Pim, what he's looking at. Oh, he can just see them disappearing around the corner in front of them as he comes off of the thing. And Ray Bartnowski's crashed again. Unfortunately, that really has put paid to any chances of him being able to get on to thing. Oh, and Benjamin Harris also had a little crash. Let's have a quick look at that. I think he might have just lost it on one of the corners. And these cars are quite difficult little things to drive. It likes to swap ends on you, I'm told by these guys. So it's quite easy for your front wheels to be behind your back wheels every now and then. I'm not actually seeing anything here. As Kevin managed to get past Carter on the straight, he would have drafted past him nicely and takes the inside line, Carter giving him plenty of space as Carter rolls over to pull back into that draft. And we'll go back live with Pim Luth at the moment, who is still working to chase down that pack in front of him. But he has got his work cut out for him, and he has to keep attention to Peter Lee, who is behind him, who is chasing him down, although he has got a nice little gap on Peter at the moment. So we're back with position 3 and 4. P2 seems to have pretty much got it locked, but you can see these guys are having a right old little battle, passing and repassing each other. Carter's got the inside line and managed to get squeezed past Kevin there. Can he make it stick as Kevin does the inside line, doing the over and under, and takes that position back? My goodness me, this really is quite a hoot to see these guys really working it out on the track to make these little cars fly, as it were. And you can see Pim Luth just there in the background, waiting to pounce on any possible mistakes that may be made. As Jack Moffitt manages to get past Peter Lee, let's have a quick look at that. You see here, Oh, why is it on Carter? I want to see this one. There we go. Jack gets the inside line. Apologies for that, folks. Inside line and holds that all the way down the straight as Benjamin Harris starts to close up and takes the inside and gets past Peter Lee for 6th place. Back live and again position swapping. Carter dropping into 4th, Kevin in 3rd. Meanwhile, Giovanni is way out in front of them, running about 8 seconds behind Jason, who could stop, have a cup of coffee, change the tires, repaint his car, get back in, and still be in front of everybody else. Jason right now, does he hold the highest lap speed? I'm going to say yes. Jason right now holds the fastest lap as well. And Jason wins the race with Carter in 2nd. Giovanni in 2nd, Kevin in 3rd. And still fighting all the way to the line, Kevin and Carter 3rd and 4th. Pim Luth in 5th. As he crosses the line. And we got some fighting in the background, so let's see how we get out there. Jack in 6th, Peter Lee in 7th, Benjamin Harris in 8th. As the cars go spinning as they crash. All right, here we go. We've now got the feature race. This one's a bit longer, and I believe we will have pit stops in this one, but I'm not 100% sure as the cars start to grid up behind the pace car. And Jason in 1st, Jason in 1st with pole, Giovanni in 2nd, Kevin 3rd, Carter 4th, Pim Luth 5th, Jack Moffat 6th, Peter Lee 7th, Benjamin Harris 8th, Andrew Thomas 9th, and Ray Bartnowski 10th. Now, the really cool thing about doing these heat races is if your first race is a bit of a disaster, you do have the option in the second race to redeem yourself as everything is reset and we again roll off the grid. So here we go. Keeping an eye on those lights as the cars pull around the corners and form up. You'll soon see that pace car peeling off to the right as the cars have formed up now into the pack. There goes the pace car, and now Jason is controlling the pack, rolling them into the start-finish straight, controlling their speed, and you'll suddenly see them all take off as we go green. Here we go, here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
As we go into turn 1, Jason's in the lead. We've got Giovanni in 2nd, Kevin in 3rd, Carter Stickney in 4th, Pim Luth in 4th. Okay, what happened to Jack Moffat? Jack Moffat went off track and lost a lot of positions coming into the first lap. Again, this is one of those laps where everybody has got cold tires. They're working to warm their cars up, trying to get it in, but you can see everybody slotting into position now. I'm sure everybody's thinking on just trying to hold on to the back of our sprinting Jason Bice, who seems to be really control. Oh, and there's a crash in the background there as Ray Bartnowski lost it going into the corner, and Carter Stickney really had absolutely nowhere to go and ran right into the side of him. And both of those guys will need to now... Oh, they both get going. Excellent job. That's great news. Although I see Carter has actually had to jump into the pits on that one. So back with the leaders. And we've got Jason Bice putting down the fastest lap of 107.2, which we know will be dropping down over the course of this race. Followed by Giovanni, Kevin, Pim Luth in 4th, Peter Lee in 5th, Andrew Thomas in 6th, Ray Bartnowski in 7th, Jack Moffat, and Ray What has happened? Oh, Andrew Thomas has crashed. Let us see what happens there. Quick look. He crashed and then he crashed again. So he spun it and then managed to get it going again. Oh, and spun again. Oh no. So he lost just a wee bit of time getting himself back on the track, get himself back moving and back in the race. Luckily for him, he did not need to pit for that one, as we see Pim Luth getting really close to the back of Kevin. And not saying your last name because I completely mess it up, and trying to make sure he keeps that lovely draft going down and trying to take the inside line into turn one, but he might be just a little bit too far behind to make that one work as he drifts down into fourth position. And Jason again knocking out that interval in front, already up to almost a second over Giovanni, followed by Kevin and Pim Luth right on his gearbox. And that is the closest we're having right now on the track. Let's have a bit of a higher view of this whole thing and see what we can see. There goes Jason, Giovanni, Kevin, Pim Luth, and Jason and Giovanni are really stretching out that lead out in front, as the rest of the pack is trailing along behind, trying to keep up with those really fast running front people. As Jason sets a 1:01.9, again the fastest lap to date, but I'm sure that will actually drop as we roll through this race. We've got lap 4. It's a 20-minute race, so we'll see how things pan out. There might not be a pit stop, although Carter Stickney is still stuck in the pits after having to tow and is now a lap down. Pim Luth and Kevin are really fighting hard. And it's nice to see how that is panning out. That's a lovely little race there. And let's see if we can get a bit of passing, as Peter Lee is working really hard to chase them down. I had said to you that I'd see if I could pull someone into the booth to chat with. Let's see if Peter Lee is willing to have a quick chat with us. Hey, Peter, you got a sec?
Yes. Hey, Ian.
How's it going?
Well, I'm struggling a little bit here. I've lost the draft of the people ahead of me, but just trying to concentrate on running some consistent laps. Lovely track.
Well, we're live with you right now. We're sitting on your gyro, trying to see, and I can see that you're chasing down Pim right now.
Yes. Yeah, Pim and Kevin up there, they've been having a good battle, and that's giving me a little bit of a chance, to make up some time on them, hopefully.
Yeah, you are. You are. I mean, it must be quite teasing just to see them every time you sort of round a corner, see them just disappearing around the next one.
Well, the problem I have here is, they have each other's draft, and that's so important, like right here on this front straight.
Yeah.
And I'm not having the benefit of a draft, so it's very hard. I lose time for them every time we come on this front straight.
Yes, I hear your frustration on that one. Well, I will tell you that Jason has just set the fastest lap again of a 1:01.8.
Wow.
I know, I don't know how that man is doing it, but he is running away with this, and he's got a 1.2 second lead over Giovanni in second place, sorry. All right, well, look, you're working hard. I'm going to leave you to it. I'm going to see if I can annoy Pim and maybe slow him down a little bit.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, do that. And broadcasters courtesy you have there over there would be greatly appreciated.
We'll see what we can do. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you.
So that was Peter Lee, who we're right now on board with, chasing down Pim Luth and the others ahead of us. And let's get the track map up so we can sort of see where folks are. I don't know why it's not showing. Okay, for whatever reason, we're not getting the track map. I apologize for that. Okay, that doesn't seem to be working right now for some reason, but we'll see what we can do as we go and see how that battle between Pim and Kevin is going. And once again, Andrew Thomas crashed. So let's see what happened to Andrew. Oh, yes, he lost it going into the corner there. I think that was the same crash we looked at before on lap 2. So let's go back live. And wow, Giovanni and he's getting a little closer now to the back of Jason Bice. They are both setting laps in the 101.8s or 9s. And you can see that gap between the two of them is closing. And I know the interval is like 1.2 seconds, but it really is not very big. Okay, let's see what we can see here. So if we look at the lap times, you know, he's running really quick laps here. He's getting the 101.9s, 102.0s, 101.9s. So he's really putting up some amazingly fast laps as Pim gets past Kevin. So let's go and have a quick look at that. As he's drafting him down the front straight and pulls that inside move, grabs the inside going into turn 1, gets a bit of a gap, and manages to hold that space as Kevin tries for the over-under, but doesn't quite seem to have the speed to get that inside line, and Pim is able to hold that position. Yes, going into the left-hander. That will let him solidify it, at least for this lap. As we are back with Giovanni, who's now dropped off the back of Kevin down to made a 2-second lead. Kevin really pulling out some fast laps there. And let's see what their lap times are when they run over the line now. Kevin does a 101.9 and Giovanni is about a second behind him on the lap. Wow, it is something else to see this. This is such a cool race. And let's turn that off. And let's pull this up. And you can see the bottom right of your screen, the battle box, as we're looking at the battle for first place. Jason Bice is battling with Giovanni, who is about 2.4 seconds adrift. And then Pim in third is about 7 seconds. But I think the battle really is for third and fourth right now, as Jack manages to pass Ray Bartnowski for 7th position. So let's go back and have a look at Pim, as Kevin is behind him looking for that draft to see if he can draft past and grab that inside line. Does he have that position? Oh, not quite. Maybe he'll pull it as we go around here. Really depends, but Pim manages to hang on as we go through this lap and maintain that third place. Can he hold it for a podium? I think this one, my friends, is going to go absolutely down to the wire. As we run lap 11 minutes elapsed of the race, a 20-minute race. So we're just over halfway through. And yeah, this is some really cool racing that's going on right here between Pim Luth and Kevin Kasoriak. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I probably am not, and I do apologize for that. As Kevin now has got the draft on Pim, you can see him almost welded behind him to his gearbox as they come down into turn one and pulls out to get that inside move. Can he make it stick? Pim's going to push for the outside, keep it on the outside, see if he can get the over-under as he goes in this corner. I don't think so. I think he'll make it stick as Pim just has to back off just a tiny bit to avoid any kind of shenanigans and crashes going into there as Kevin gets third place back from him. But this fight, my friends, is absolutely no way over as Kevin releases a load of fog, oily fog into Pim's helmet there, which I'm sure does not help with being able to see very well. Let's ride on board with Pim for a second and see what it looks like from his perspective as we get onto that front straight or start straight. And we can see that Jason, you can see how the draft is working. I mean, look at how he's catching up with the back of him. Decides that this is not the lap for this particular pass, sits behind him just for another lap, just to manage. And he runs it a little bit wide. He's losing a lot because he's sliding too much there. Pim tightens up and was able to climb right up behind him again. And going into these corners on the back straight, Pim's got a very slightly different line and really catches up on the back of him, of Kevin right here. And he holds it in there going into corner before the last. Here we go into the last corner. Pim's lifting a little bit before, but is able to get on the gas quicker, and he's a much closer behind him this time. Watch how that gap is going to just disappear as Pim pulls out of the draft and able to just use that extra momentum to slide on by Kevin and take him into turn one. Again, Kevin is not letting this go as these cars and trying for that little over-under move on the inside, but just can't quite make it stick. Hasn't quite got that speed to go. Oh, got a lovely push off of that last corner and it's pulling alongside of him. Oh my goodness me. As they go into and takes that position back again on the inside line as but Pim now has the inside going into this corner and and they touch. Oh no, let's have a look at that, guys. There was a little bit of a crash right there as Pim and Kevin passed each other. And Kevin goes round and Pim and touch, and he hits his front tire, which spins Kevin up off the track and out into the outfield, where he taps the wall. Luckily enough, he gets himself going again, stays in fourth place, but doesn't appear to have any real damage. Looks like that has paid to his ability to catch Pim now, although he does have some time in hand to see if that can happen. But the gap really has pulled out to a far bigger gap between them now. You can see that Pim is now almost 5 seconds up the road on Kevin. And probably a much easier run. Probably a much easier run for him now, as we roll through 15 minutes elapsed on this race. All right, so it's running through the positions. We've got Jason Bison first, now got almost 4-second lead over Giovanni, who's got a big lead over Pim, followed by Kevin, Ray, Jack, Benjamin, Peter Lee, and then Andrew Thomas and Carter Stickney, who actually retired from the race. So let's go and see our leader, Mr. Bice, as he's coming up to lap Andrew Thomas, or potentially lap Andrew Thomas. And Jason has really controlled this race from the beginning. 16.5 minutes have ticked by of a 20-minute race. And quite the commanding run for both races by Mr. Bice. I think what we'll need to do is add some weight to his car and handicap him a little bit. Add those triangular wheels or something to slow him down, because he is absolutely walking away with these at the moment. Really just a joy to watch how his control over this little Formula V car, as Giovanni works really hard behind him, not out of sight. I mean, you know, he's keeping an eye on Jason, but that 4 seconds is going to be really challenging to be able to clear up, seeing that Jason is almost consistently running 101s, and the rest of the field are just in the low 102s or in the mid 103s. So yeah, there you go. Pim is now comfortably in third place, 14 seconds adrift from the leader, but has a 1.5 second lead over Kevin at the moment. Let's see if Pim has a second to chat now that he's not quite as close to Kevin, and that fight's kind of calmed down. Hey Pim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
How's it going, my friend?
I had a small accident with Kevin, so I'm trying to get him back so we can have a nice racing in the end.
Well, we've been watching your racing with Kevin. It's been very close. Your positions have been swapping and swapping and swapping, and I can see that he's closing in behind you right now. And I wanted to have a quick chat just before he did that. But yeah, we saw the accident live, and we managed able to go back and watch the replay of it.
I think it was me. I think it was all me, and I made a small mistake up there. But that's why I waited a little bit for him, so we can have a nice fight here.
Okay, well that's
Really fast.
he is, but it's been a joy to watch the two of you guys battling it out. And he is now about 0.3 of a second behind you. So I'm going to leave you to it. I know that you've got to concentrate. So good luck.
All right, thanks, mate.
Hey, Jack Moffat. Hey, Jack, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How's it going, my friend?
Pretty good.
I see that you're fighting there with Ray.
That's all right.
It is. We're watching you now live. So if you can't talk, just don't. But oh my gosh, there's a little bit of over and undering going on here as Jack running the Unicorns and Rainbows car today. It's so close battling. Oh, and a lovely inside move there. Can he keep it? And he does, giving some room to Ray on the inside just in case. Can he make it stick going down into the almost the final corner? Ray has the inside line. And Jack manages to hold it in front as we go into the final corner.
Keep it on the straight.
Well, Ray is like welded to your gearbox right now, so he's going to get advantage of that lovely draft that these cars give each other, and pulls out and uses that extra couple miles an hour to draft past on the inside. Of course, he has a disadvantage of having a slightly tighter line, and allows Jack to see if he can do that over-under move, as Jack has the inside. Ooh. Oh, this is so much fun to watch. Jack, I'm going to let you get on with it, mate. They are continuing to battle furiously through the all the corners on the inside part of the track, and and Jack loses it. Oh no! Oh, they both do. Come on, Jack, get it back in first. Get back on the track. What are you waiting on? And they're both back on track, and they're both still, and it's the final lap. I didn't even realize our time has run out as we're watching this battle. So we're going to have to go back and see the thing. And, Jack has definitely got it. Well. So let's go back and have a look at the checkered flag. as we see Jason Bice coming around to take that. Take the checkered. Nicely done, sir. Followed by second place. And Pim Luth and Kevin battling it out to the final end as Pim tries to break that but draft on Kevin and not let him get the speed to get past him. Will Pim take the podium? And he does. Third place for our Pim Luth. Fourth place for Kevin. Fifth place for Jack. Sixth place for Ray. Seventh place for Brian, Benjamin, Harris, Peter Lee in eighth, Anthony in ninth, and Carter in 10th position. Woof. Well. What a fun race that was to watch. Let's see if we can get anybody in the broadcast booth to have a quick chat with us. Hey, Peter.
Yes.
Oh, congratulations, mate. That was a race. I can't believe it. As soon as we stopped talking to you, you managed to have a little spin. But luckily for you, Ray spun as well right behind you, and you both kind of got back going in the same positions you were in before. That was amazing to watch.
Well, this car, is kind of tricky to drive, but luckily, if you do spin, it's not too bad to recover. And so, I've definitely had better drives in the past, but still, you just can't have more fun than that.
Oh, it was a hoot to watch. I mean, let's see if it's here. No, I don't think it's this one. Just trying to find where you went off the. There we go. So we're just watching that little off track.
My spins, Ian.
We're gonna highlight this spin. This well, I mean you. Oh, it's not that one. I'm trying to find it now. Hang on. I can't even find it, mate. I can't even find it. So you're gonna get away. You're gonna get away with it. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so much fun. It was so much fun watching this race. You and Kevin were battling the whole way through.
Oh, I know. I think that was Pim.
Pim and Kevin were battling the whole way through.
In that battle, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, there was some close racing. They both gave each other a lot of respect.
Yeah.
They did touch at one point in time, but Pim then slowed down and let Kevin catch him back up. But not quite enough for Kevin to pass him.
It's good sportsmanship, and both Pim and Kevin are so great to race against. Last week at Sebring, Kevin and I were side by side, I think, for a good 3 or 4 laps, and we were just so great. And then Pim and I spend so much time on track together. He's just a joy to be on track with.
Yeah.
You can really trust these guys, and we're driving as hard as possible, but we can really get close to each other on track.
Yes, it is. It is quite. It's quite fun seeing all these different things. I mean, and you and Ray were passing each other and then passing each other again. Again, this lovely close racing, which is just so much fun to see as a broadcaster. And I'm sure, and I hope anybody that does actually bother to watch this equally enjoys this.
One thing Ray and I discovered on the Discord is that we both grew up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is kind of an amazing small world moment. And I don't know if you noticed, Ray had a Northern Michigan University livery on his car.
Well, I noticed he had a different livery from the last one, but I didn't know that it was Northern Michigan University. So there you go. Shout out to your alma mater.
Well, I went to University of Michigan, but grew up just 100 miles from Northern Michigan, and so did Ray. And we grew up, I guess, probably about 70, 80 miles away from each other.
Goodness me. So tell us a little bit about your livery, the Unicorn Rainbows. What's going on there?
Well, the livery started with the Team Jason livery, the Skip Weber race series. And then we were doing the Week 13 team event, and 2 Team Jason members, Ben Luke and Rafa Bofill, teamed up. So I teamed up with Ray, and we called ourselves evil Team Jason because and Roth were going to be good Team Jason. And so we just flipped the coin and went out on track as the evil Team Jason, and it was kind of just a fun joke.
Oh,
Inside
that's
joke for us.
awesome. That's awesome. I'm just going back because I think actually your spin was not your fault. I think just looking at it on the replay, you got tapped.
Ah, I don't remember that.
You got
It feel,
tapped. Just a little nudge that pushed you off
yeah,
and spun you up. So that's kind of why you went off track. So there you
I
go.
see. Yeah, I didn't know it. I thought for sure it's just my own mistake. And, but I'll have to take a look at that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you, it was a real laugh to watch this race. Congratulations to you for giving us so much entertainment and yeah, just so much fun to see. So I'm gonna have a quick chat with Pim. Let's.
Big thanks and kudos to you for doing the broadcast.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. So just drag Pim in here. So Pim, you got it, mate. Third place.
Oh man, that was yeah. I was actually thinking after the incident, Kevin, that I would just stop right before the finish line and let him get the podium. But then I thought, you know what, I can take the spot back and we can fight again. So I did that, and it was really fun. Kevin is a really safe driver, and yeah, never had the opportunity, but it was awesome.
Well, it was again a lot of fun watching you guys race. I think that you must have swapped positions with Kevin, a billion times. I don't know how many times it was that you passed backwards and forwards.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I think in the beginning I wanted to stay behind him because I thought he was faster, and then we could catch up with the guys in front of us. But when that didn't happen, it was just all for fun. And yeah, we had a great battle. I like his driving style.
Yeah. So we were again the other ones that were close was Peter, who's also still here with us,
Yeah,
Hey,
and
yeah,
we've been chatting
Peter.
about things about how close these cars can race to each other.
Oh yeah, they're very close, and that's the fun part of this race. I had a small incident in the first race, and it's just you tap someone, you brake and you continue, and you can at least start a fight with someone else again. So that's really great.
Yeah. No. So much fun to watch. So for you two, I don't see anybody else in the waiting to be able to chat with me. Oh wait, Jason and Kevin are there, so I'm going to pull them in and have a quick
All
chat
right,
with them. So
let's get those guys in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's get those in. So
Go here, Kevin.
we'll drag Jason in. We're going to do this a bit differently, guys. We're going to drag everybody into the broadcast booth, and we're going to talk to everybody, and we're going to confuse the hell out of anybody that was watching. But let me just say, Jason, we have
Yes.
some triangular wheels for you, mate. Because this is crazy. You pulled out a lead. You kept that lead. You looked unassailable through this whole race.
It's a good track for me. I really like this configuration of Okinawa. I think it's a perfect fit for the car.
Yeah, I mean, you controlled it from the start. We watched the flags at the front at the very beginning behind the pace car, and I mean, at no point did anybody even threaten your throne there, your crown for winning both heats. So congratulations to you.
Thank you, thank you.
And Kevin, my God, mate. First of all, how do you pronounce your last name?
That looks like he's muted.
Oh, let me just unmute him real quick. Hang on. Sorry, Kevin, my bad. Kevin, here we go. All right, Kevin, you got your ears on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. I can now. How do you pronounce your last name? Because I've been mangling it for TV.
Sure. Yeah, so sure.
Kashurek. Well, that's not what I said. I probably said everything else but that. So first of all, I'm going to apologize for that. But dude, that was some cool racing with you and Pim in that second heat. We really enjoyed watching that.
Tim was a great guy to race with. We were going back and forth. He was a little bit faster through Redmond and Hobbs up at the top of the hill, and I could gain on him in some other places. But this car, you have to be so careful where you pick your places to pass. And then when we did get together, Pim was trying to hold it down to the bottom, but the car was just pushing on him. He caught my back tire. He did the gentlemanly thing, let me catch back up, and we raced. So it was a well-earned position by Pim. Nothing but respect there.
Yeah, no, I said it was a huge amount of fun to watch the two of you. I think you must have passed and repassed each other, 10 or 15 times at least. And that last couple of laps, watching you guys passing each other on the infield was a right hoot.
Yeah, well, it's tough because if you do a lot of that during the race, you're just going to fall back to the order. So you have to really pick and choose when you're going to pass. And then when you get towards the end, then it's gloves off, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I will say this. This was highly enjoyable to watch both heats. I think the second heat for me was more fun than the first because there were just so many close battles. But from your all's perspective, how did it go today?
For me personally, it went better than expected. I was thinking that I had to hold back and just drive along. So that was my big surprise that I could come along with Kevin. And yeah, had a great race, a lot of fun, and it's every Saturday with Formula V league, it's fun to race.
Right.
I really enjoy it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, you've just heard from the Max Verstappen of the Sunday Night Skippy Formula V Racing.
The number 33, that's me.
Yeah, I know that for me, I had a blast. There was a couple times where Gio and I were trying to conspire to just actually hang on to Jason for a little bit, and a couple laps we kind of held on, and then he would break away, and it was like, well, back to racing the rest of the guys.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to definitely put some sort of a handicap on Jason on the next race, which will be next Saturday morning.
Well, I'm on a statue or something. I think I'm the only one to get a heat victory besides Jason.
Oh, good Lord. Jason?
Yeah, I'm seeing the lap times condense. I think we spoke to this in the last broadcast a little bit. But I was keeping my eye on the standings and on the timing board during the race, and yeah, the gaps are collapsing from week to week. So I think it's going to get more and more competitive. I think the race is going to get closer and closer as we move through the rest of the season, which is really awesome to see. So
Yeah, that's brilliant. And we've got Andy Thomas in here. Hey, Andy, how's it going? Andy, can you hear me? We're not hearing Andy at the moment, so let's see if we can hear. Who else? Nope, we had somebody else in here, but they've left. Peter, how about you?
Yeah, just to let Kevin and Tim know, I gave you guys shout out for just being so great to race side by side with. And Kevin, I think what you did with Tim today, you and I were doing at Sebring last week, and so you must be pretty tired of seeing the livery that Tim and I run at this point.
Hey, you're making me for a living.
But I agree with Jason. This is such a great track. I had a little bit of an off day this morning. Maybe I needed a second cup of coffee here on the West Coast, but it was just so much fun to be on this track, and it's one of those things also where I like the format because if you have a little bit of an off heat one, you have a second chance on heat two, and it just makes it that much more fun. So just can't say enough good things about this series.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and
what did everybody think about the reverse heat or reverse grid versus not reverse grid last week to this week?
Yeah, I have a strong opinion about that one. I think we should do reverse grid, but just for you.
So basically, Jason just always starts last.
Yeah.
Oh, good
One
Lord.
thing to consider in another league that I'm in, they run the just like we did the feature, they revert top 5.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because we sort of do that for the Friday night 50 practice races, and that seems to work pretty well there.
Yeah. When we have 40 cars on the grid, we'll reverse the top 14, and it's definitely interesting. So yeah, if everybody's up for that, we'll try that next week. We'll just reverse the top 5 and see what happens.
Yeah, and just for anybody who might be watching who isn't a racer, this is our first season of running the Formula V in under the league auspices in the Sunday Night Skippy. And we're kind of still working out exactly what the format will be going forward. So this is kind of a test season, as it were.
Yeah.
All right.
But really, I mean, anybody who's watching, we keep it really low key. Whereas our SF1 series is super competitive. We're keeping the Saturday morning series pretty laid back. It's a great group of guys. If you're interested in the car, interested in the league, but you're kind of maybe overwhelmed by some of the other series, this is a great one to get into.
Yeah, and anybody can join this, right? Is there any limits?
Only requirement is that you're out of rookies. That's really it. We brought in Andy. Andy's actually a newcomer to the service, but I've known Andy for 30 plus years, and I know he's good for it. So
Yeah, Andy's being very quiet on us and not speaking whatsoever. I don't know why. Or maybe we scared him.
yeah, he's having trouble. He says that he can't or doesn't have permission to speak. I'm going to drop him out of the room and bring him back, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. And while we're Andy, can you hear us? He's not muted. Let me mute him and then unmute him and see if that helps. Hello?
Trying to do that. Just back on the format, Jason, I think the rolling start's a good thing. I would keep that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. What do you guys think about the go on green rules? That seems to keep things pretty tame and predictable. Cool.
I think that's you could change that maybe, because I do like it that we have a little bit of a choice, and especially with this long straight, everybody was all backed up. I think it's per track maybe a little bit different.
Okay. Well, if you want, we can try a little bit of gamesmanship on the starts next week as well. We'll relax those rules a bit. That could be interesting too with reversing the top 5. So maybe doing those two things together could get interesting.
Where are we next week?
You know what? I have no clue, but I do have the schedule up right in front of me. Give me 1 second, and I'll have that.
We need to have anything that we can use against Jason.
We're at Lime Rock Classic.
Ah,
Yeah.
That
so
should
no
be
chicanes,
fun.
Nice long straight on the front, nice long straight on the back.
wow. Is that going to be flat out all the way around?
Pretty
It's
much.
gonna be close. Yeah.
Yeah. That should be
That's
fun
gonna
to
be
watch.
racing.
That should be fun to watch. And
Yeah, that could
maybe
be basically an oval for this.
could be.
Skippy. Yeah.
Could be. All right, guys. So let's just do the order. Any last shout outs, Jason?
No, I just want to thank everybody for an awesome race. Like I said, it's a great group of guys. I really look forward to Saturday mornings.
Okay.
So,
Peter.
Just as I said before, Ian, thank you so much for doing these broadcasts. It's just fun to be able to chat with you and the others after the race. But good way to wrap it up.
Awesome.
thank you for that.
Pim.
Well, I want to add to that because, of course, they say everything in front of me. I want to add thanks to my family. They're all watching the broadcast, so great to finish on the podium.
Excellent. Well, they would have seen you a lot on there. Kevin.
Yeah, thanks to Jason for admin. Thanks to you for broadcasting. Thanks to all the great competitors I've had during the race. It's always been fun racing with whoever I've crossed wheels with. And thanks to my teammate Gio for helping make practice fun.
Okie dokie. And Andy's last and he can't talk, so I'm going to make it up for him. So thanks to all you guys for doing the race. Obviously we couldn't, I could broadcast a blank screen of a blank track if you weren't on it. I would love to see some more folks get involved in this and get our grid bulked up just a little bit more than 10. If we could get up to 20, I think that would be optimum. I would love to see, what we haven't ever seen in our league? We haven't got any female racers at all. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. It would be great to see some ladies jumping in. There is no reason why they can't race this thing.
This week I have my niece from Pittsburgh visiting, and she is so into cars. So she's coming, taking a week expensive week away from our summer internship specifically to spend time in my sim rig. So I'm putting her in a V, and we'll see what happens.
There we go. Get her in the league. You
Yeah,
know,
Jason, can we make a temporary account at City Races? Because then we have our first female race. I totally agree, Ian, with you. We should have more of people joining us.
yeah. Let's get some more gender distribution if we can. All right, bro, folks. I'm sure we've bored everybody who's listening to us for far too long. Thank you all for that, for the race. We really enjoyed it. And let's see, we've got next Saturday coming up, Formula V once again. We've got a broadcast on Thursday nights for USF 2K races, which you can watch, which is done by Pim Luth and I believe Peter Lee. We have a broadcast on Sunday night for our Skippy Formula 1 and Formula 2 race. And when we say Formula 1 and Formula 2, same car, just a different kind of a grouping. Formula 2 are slightly slower drivers, but no less competitive. Formula 1 or SF1 is the entire group of skippies. So in SF2, you get around 15 or so skippies. In an SF1, you get around 40 or so skippies. Both good fun to watch. They're at 8 p.m. start on a Sunday evening. So if any of you want to get a bit of a fix, watch some digital racing there with some folks that really are into it and try really hard and spend a lot of time putting a lot of practice into all of their sessions, please come and join us. And until next week, it is goodbye from me.